Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Black Excellence in Healthcare, White Coats and Real Talk podcast, the podcast where we highlight the brilliant Black healthcare professionals. And tonight I have a special guest, but I'm going to let her introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. Number one, thank you so much for having me on. My name is Dr. Casey Collins. I'm a doctorally prepared, board-certified family nurse practitioner. I reside in New York. I've been in healthcare for a while, but I specialize in women's health, and I've been in that field for nearly about a decade. I love what I do. I'm blessed to do what I do. And I realized my impact needed to extend past the exam room. So I created my new business, Crystal Clear Women's Care, which is a women's online health platform focused on education, because I want you to know about yourself and things that need to be taken care of before it actually happens. So I'm excited to be here and just talk health.
Yes, we're excited to have you. That's amazing. Doctoral prepared nurse practitioner.
Exactly.
So what led you on this path? Anybody inspired you or something inspired you that led you into going into your expertise field of women's health?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think there were so many. There were mentors. I have a Caribbean background. A lot of my Caribbean family members were already in the health field. So a lot of them had encouraged me to go into nursing, but I was kind of on the fence about it. Not because I thought it was anything bad, but I think I kind of wanted to find my own way. So I started off as a medical assistant in high school, which I think was great because I kind of set the foundation. So I worked my way up. And I got to saw healthcare from that point of view, right? And then after I was like, I'm not sure if I want to do nursing, so I went into occupational therapy. And at that time, I was still kind of switching gears. So I think I was working as a medical assistant. I was in a hospital. I was doing a one-to-one case. And I saw this amazing, I guess, like angel of a Black nurse, Black female nurse, and she just embodied grace, class. People gravitated to her. She was so well-spoken. And I think that was the first time I got to saw that for myself. Not everyone else in my ears encouraging me. I got to see that for myself. And she looked at me and she was like, "Oh, are you a student?" I was like, "Oh, I'm not a nursing student, but I'm here as a medical assistant with this patient." And she was like, I see how you are with the patient. You should consider going to nursing. I think it will be good for you if you're really passionate about helping people. And I think just seeing her and then her speaking life into me and having that exposure, I had my aha moment and it really just changed. And I think what she embodied is now what I embodied, having patient clientele, patients following me and understanding that I have a responsibility. So I just felt like she just kind of changed what nursing was for me.
That's amazing. I love to hear stories like that. When sometimes people are unsure or they start navigating to a different path and then they end back on the nursing path and it's like the best path they didn't pick.
Yes.
So that's amazing. So on White Coats and Real Talk podcast, I always ask all the guests, what does Black excellence mean to you?
Oh, this is my favorite question. I love Black excellence. And I think as Black people, we strive to be excellence. But Black excellence is not about being perfect. It's about navigating spaces that technically weren't even designed for us. Overcoming those barriers with grace, understanding the responsibility that we carry, the responsibility our ancestors carried, and the sacrifices they made, and taking that and running with it, making it better, creating legacy. But again, it's not about perfection. I really think it's about just being able to navigate spaces with grace, kind of what that nurse embodied, with your head held high, understanding that, when I walk into rooms, it's very impactful. Again, that moment create an exposure, and exposure is so important. So I always say, you don't always have to go to church to get the Bible. You can literally be a Bible for someone like, wow, look what she embodied. If she can do it, I can do it too. So I think Black excellence is about knowing your power, embodying that even in the face of adversity.
Oh, I love that response. I absolutely love that response. That sums it all up very perfectly. So I see you got your beautiful white coat on over there.
Yes.
So what does that white coat symbolizes for you?
When I was younger and I used to see people wearing their white coat, And I think to most people, it embodies authority. But to me, when I put on my white coat, I understand that it embodies responsibility. I have a responsibility to do right by people. People are trusting me on the good days, on the bad days, with their health, with their most sacred stories. So I think it's a huge responsibility. When I put this white coat on, and it's not, just to look cute, it's not for fashion, it's way more than that. Because even when I clock out, even when the white coat is off, you still have a responsibility to kind of move, walk, and talk a certain way, to make sure you're educating people the correct way. Even if I see things on social media, I'm like, that's not correct information. So I feel like you still have a responsibility to navigate a certain way. So it embodies responsibility for me.
Okay, I love that. Yes, a lot of responsibility comes
Yes,
with
yes.
wearing
It
white
paid a cost to be the boss, right?
coats. So, what's something you wish that people knew about nurse practitioners that specialize in women's health?
We have a lot of compassion. Obviously, we're not here to replace OBGYNs. We're not trying to cosplay as OBGYNs of obstetricians who have spent years and years in school. Obviously, we go through lots of training as well, but we're not here to replace, right? We're all here to collaborate and add to the healthcare field and the goal of just helping our patients. I can speak for myself and some of my other colleagues. Sometimes you do take things home. Women's health is very, very special. It is a lot more than just a diagnosis. It's a very vulnerable field, a very sensitive field. Females are coming in. It's not just about imbalanced hormones. It could be anxiety. It could be postpartum depression, fertility struggles. I would say some of my days would include doing procedures, doing pap smears, inserting an IUD, but then explaining to a woman she just had a miscarriage. And I don't care how much years of training you have. The way you say that to a person is very important because, as we know, in healthcare, it's not what you say, is how you make people feel. And people remember that. People will say, I saw you 3 years ago. I remember when you told me that my hormones were imbalanced, but the way you said it to me, it was so sensitive. It was so in a way that I can really understand it, and it helped me. And I made lifestyle changes. So it's not what you say, it's how you say it. But just to go back, things like miscarriages are very hard. So you're not supposed to take it home with you, but sometimes you do. I remember having a patient, literally her due date was next week, the week after, and it was her birthday. She came in for her last scan. Perfect ultrasounds, all her labs were good. There was no reason for what happened, and we did the ultrasound and there was no fetal heart rate. And there's no amount of training. And mind you, I was seeing her like every other week. So you build the bond. You build the bond. This is from the beginning of pregnancy, first finding out you're pregnant, all the way to the end. So we're seeing each other a lot. We're talking. I get to know her family. We're having lots of conversations. So that was heartbreaking. That was heartbreaking. And you're not supposed to take it home, but I took it home with me, and I checked up on her, and she was like, I know it's not your fault, but I carry some type of guilt, even though I did nothing. It was like, could I have done something? Did I miss something? So I think statistically, they say that even obstetricians and people that work in women's health, they can sometimes suffer from a little bit of depression. So I often make sure I go to therapy, check my mental health, because sometimes it's not easy because you're doing a lot of pouring into these women, a lot of pouring, and sometimes your cup can run dry.
You are absolutely right. And kudos to you for specializing in women's health. Because when I did my clinical rotation in women's health, I was like, this is too emotional.
Very emotional. Very emotional. So emotional.
I was like, okay, this is too emotional. I don't think I can do I can do this specialty every day.
Yes. But
Because
so funny. I said the same thing. I did my women's health rotation, and I was like, I was going to do derm. I did derm for a while, and where I did my rotation, they're like, can you come back? My mom was like, you should try it. And rest in peace to my grandmother. She had passed from breast cancer about 2 years before. She was like, listen, she was like, you never know, your grandma may want you in this field. I'm like, I always say, I didn't choose women's health. Women's health chose me, because I'm like you. I would have never thought I would be a women's health. Never.
well, that's good because we need you. We need you, and we need the representation too as well. And you represent it very, very well. So I
Thank you
am
so
beyond
much.
extremely proud of you. So just just keep putting that greatness out in the world. Keep giving the people and your patients what they need.
Thank you
Uh,
so much. I appreciate that.
you're welcome. So I have this segment on here Well, the audience want to get in your business a little bit. Just a little bit. So it's called White Coat Confession. So I would like for you to share with us something that nobody like close to you. We're gonna exclude those people. Something that someone doesn't know about you. It could be a personal truth. It could be, something that you experience that kind of shape you into the woman that you are today.
So, wow. Wow. I feel like there's so many white coat confessions. So, something that happened to me while I'm in the white coat or before I even got to the white coat.
You can pick whichever.
So, I would say I'm pretty well rounded and I think I'm pretty down to earth, which is why I think people just feel comfortable speaking to me. And I think that is because I used to rap. I used to DJ. I played basketball. I almost became a cop before becoming a nurse. Yes. So there was a lot of ups and downs. So I think it has humbled me. It has made me such a down to earth person. Like you can just talk to me. And I think I've had patients of like, other providers that kind of have like this kind of standoffish. And I'm like, don't talk to me. Like, let's have a conversation because I really feel like I'm for the people. And I'm like, I've been there. Just like if someone's like, listen, I didn't have enough money to pick up that prescription. I can relate to that and be like, I remember a time where I didn't have money like that when I was in college and stuff like that. So I think just being personable and, I was kind of like a semi-tomboy growing up and then my mom is very prissy. So I had that balance. I just think I'm well-rounded and I think that really helps, again, just being able to relate to people of all different types of backgrounds.
Sure. I'm just a little interested about this cop thing. What is
Yes. 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 I don't know. I was gonna be a whole cop. And I think I probably after that would have been a lawyer, but yeah, it was a small stint. I'm trying to figure out. I think it was after I was doing an occupational thing and I was like, oh, I'm not sure. And I think at that time I had some cousins. My mom was like, oh, your cousin's becoming a cop. She's making good money now. And I'm like, I don't know. She was like, try it out. So I took the test and I passed it. And I went through like basic training and stuff. And at some point I just realized it's like God spoke to me. I was like, this isn't for me. I was like, this is not for me. It just isn't. I remember there was a guy that was there and he was really nice. And he was just like, honestly, you keep saying that you're not sure. And I really don't feel like you belong here. And I was like, I don't feel like I belong here either. And I was like, Mom, listen, I know you. She really wanted me to do it. Cause at that time, my stepfather, he was a sergeant. He was like, I know everybody. You're going to be good. We're going to move you up the ranks. And I was like, you know what? It's okay. I'm going to send myself back to school. I'm going to go to nursing school. I remember I sacrificed not being able to drive. So I didn't have to pay car insurance. I just wanted to put all my money into paying for my tuition and my studies. I was working at Best Buy. I worked overnight at Target. I did whatever I needed to do so I could pay my way. And I did. And after I did, I was just like, oh, it's over for y'all. Because once I had my foot in the door and I knew I was capable of finishing those goals, that was it. That was it. So I think, like I said, all those struggles, all those things, and feeling like I was left behind because all my friends are graduating before me and feeling like, wow, like everyone's passing me. Where's my life going? Like, I think it really humbled me, but it made me look at things very differently. And I believe God's timing is the best timing. Delayed, not denied.
Absolutely. Delayed, not denied. Can you say that one more time?
Delayed, not denied. And I'm even saying it for myself, even to this day, because sometimes it's hard. You look in, how come that happened to that person? And over it, God will always show me delayed, not denied. Like, it's okay. Trust my timing. It's so important. It's so important.
That's awesome. That's amazing. So what would be some advice that you would give the younger generation who may want to, go on the path of into nursing and nurse practitioner and specialize in women's health? What is some advice would you give a younger person about that?
Yeah. I would say, I know I precept my students. I always tell them, please stay curious, keep learning. Healthcare is ever changing. Learn about yourself, learn about everything, learn about mental health. Mental health is everywhere in healthcare. So just learn how to treat a person holistically. Look at the whole picture. I don't want you to just be book smart. While that's very important, I want you to be able to interact with people, be culturally aware, be culturally competent. I know in our area in New York and in Queens, you're seeing everyone, Arabic, Morocco, people from so many different backgrounds. So I was like, you have to be culturally competent, especially my non-Black students. I let them know about the maternal health crisis, why Black women may come in feeling scared, feeling anxious about the Black birthing experience. A lot of them don't understand that. I'm like, yes, our white counterparts, they're excited about their pregnancy. My Black females, they're excited, but they're also scared about, if they're going to live to see their baby after birth. So just teaching that cultural competence is important. And lastly, I would say, don't forget the human part of healthcare. It's very important to feel, just like I mentioned when that patient, her baby passed, the biggest thing she said, thank you for being able to just be a shoulder that I can cry on, because I had to hold her. I had to allow her to cry. I think I even let out a couple of tears myself. I just want her to see it because I had to be strong for her. But that's important. And that I've learned has been, I guess, I don't even want to say my secret sauce, but what has caused a lot of patients to come back to see me, because they're just like, you're just kind. And I'm like, well, everyone's kind in healthcare, right? They're like, no, the way you speak to me, you make me feel seen and heard. And that's something I really try to teach my students. I'm like, you have to see people. You have to listen to people. You have to create an environment of trust, and just don't forget to be human. Don't forget to say, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see that lab on time. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't send that prescription on time. It's very, very important.
Right. So what do you think one of the biggest myths are in women's health?
Oh, wow. There's so many. When it
I'm
comes to
sure.
women pain, there's so many. I'm very big on believe women the first time. So females would think, menstrual pain is just normal. I'm talking about menstrual pain where they're calling out of school, out of work. That's not normal. And I think sometimes we've all kind of been through that, where we feel being a woman equals suffering. It equals pain, from hairstyles to whatever, to trying to get in shape. Wearing a waist trainer, you're like, pain equals beauty. Pain equals is a part of being a woman. And that's not always the case, and I'm trying to change that. So I think when it comes to pain, listening to women, not gaslighting women, if a woman's like, hey, let's check the hormones. We there shouldn't be any pushback if someone wants to know about their body, and educating. So I think the biggest thing is just about, when it comes to listening to women, or that women are promiscuous and they need to get on birth control. HPV means that you're promiscuous. That's not true. There's so many studies that show even if you had intercourse once, you can be exposed to HPV. So a lot of females come in with shame, but I would tell to any female, do not feel shame. At least I'm not going to make you feel ashamed for you telling me your story and the reason why you're here, because I'm here to help you.
That's awesome. That's great. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And I don't know why we think beauty is pain, because
yeah. Yep, we think that's our portion. Pain always has to be our portion. No.
That's terrible.
Very terrible.
Yes. So what's one word that describes your purpose?
Wow. That's
Just
a great
one
question.
word.
Just one word.
One word that describes your purpose.
I guess change.
Hmm.
Yeah, change. Being the change I want to see, helping other people change for the better. Yeah, change.
I like that. I like that. Change. I like that.
Yeah.
So on your hardest days, because you have to show up for, your clients, your patients, on your hardest days, what is your why? Even
Wow.
you have a day where you like, oh, I just, sometimes we have to speak life into ourselves to keep ourselves going. What would be your why that would keep you going on your hardest days?
That's really good. Number one, I know there's a lot of patients who are counting on me. My experience in women's health has been, seeing a Black female see me walk in the room and just be so happy, seeing that look of hope in her eyes. So I know that I have the huge responsibility. That's number one. Number two, I feel like God did put me here. And I think that should actually be number one. Understanding that I need to walk into every room boldly because God sent me there, even when I'm weary. This is bigger than me, right? And I think sometimes it becomes me, me, me. is bigger than me, and we were called to serve. And if I went so hard to get into this field, this is a field of serving, and I think we forget that sometimes. So it is like, you got to drink your coffee, you got to get your rest, but you're here to serve ultimately. And just same thing I mentioned before, being the change that I want to see. Somebody has to do it, even on the tough days, even on the days where you're tired, but I definitely encourage mental rest and taking mental health days. I've gotten better about that, where if I don't have the capacity, I'm not coming in that day, because I'm doing everyone a disservice by, coming in and just not being there the way I would want to be for my patients. So I would say definitely faith, understanding that it's bigger than me. And on the days where sometimes I'm tired, someone will be added to my schedule, and I'm like, this is why I had to come in today. I had to come in today. And they're like, I'm so happy I met you. So I think sometimes we have to push past that, and just understanding that this purpose is to serve. And like I said, just God pushing me, knowing that God will be with me through all things.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So how are you leaving the door open for the next generation?
Great question. I would say through, I guess, my business, Crystal Clear Women's Care. I'm just educating through social media, creating online platforms, digital resources, also precepting the students. I precept a lot of students in New York. So helping the next generation, really kind of shaping the way they approach women's health, the way they see women's health is very important. And also internationally, when I do medical mission trips, which I love so much. That's something I've always wanted to do when I first started nursing. And I'm so happy I continue to do that today. So just being able to change lives overseas, come back and even tell those same students like, hey, we need to do medical mission trips. This is bigger than just the U.S. Understand that not everyone has access to healthcare in the U.S., outside of the U.S., being culturally aware. So I think, doing all those things, working full time, running a business, just trying to embody that and just making sure, again, that I'm aware when I step into the room that not that there's pressure, but there is a responsibility, because again, I could be that exposure for the next person, just like I had exposure that got me into nursing.
Yes, yes, I love it. I love it. So this is kind of like the favorite part of my podcast show is the White Coat Power Bulls Rapid Fire.
Oh,
I'm gonna ask you a few quick questions and you just answer with the first thing that comes to your mind, okay?
okay.
You ready?
You ready?
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Steak or
Coffee.
seafood? You say coffee all day long.
Seafood.
Steak,
Seafood. I'm a seafood
seafood.
girl. I love seafood.
Okay. Are you an early bird or a night owl?
Early bird.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you prefer books or podcasts?
Now podcast. Yeah.
So, are you an iPhone or Android?
iPhone. Android has great photo quality though, but I would say
Okay.
iPhone. Yes, the photos give. Oh, but iPhone. That's what I have, and that's what I'm sticking with for right now. So yeah.
When I ask that, I'd be so tickled. I'd be so tickled.
Right?
But yes, like I have iPhone, but I love the Android photos. Like
Yes.
they take some great photos.
Yes.
And
Look
I
at the
used to be
T.
Android before I converted over.
Oh, really? Wow.
When you're working, do you prefer your scrubs or your white coat business casual?
So recently, I've reverted back to my scrubs, and I'm so happy. 10 times more comfortable. I'm like, let's just get to work. I love my business casual too, but I love my scrubs. Like, let's get busy. I got things to do. So
You
yeah.
got things to do.
Yeah, I got things to do. Let's get to work.
That's good. Okay. Are you heels or sneakers? Do you prefer heels
Yeah,
or
I
just
prefer heels. Yeah, I prefer
heels?
heels. I'm a heels
Okay.
girl. Yeah.
Introvert or extrovert?
It's so hard for me because I'm definitely in the middle. So I would say I'm an extrovert with times needed to regroup. So yeah,
Okay. Are you a text me or call me?
I guess it depends. I like a good phone conversation. I feel like we abuse texting now. I like a good phone conversation. Call
I
me,
do
yeah.
too. I'm like,
Yeah, right?
but
Call me. And I'm guilty of that too. I'm like, why don't I just call? Yeah.
do you love spending or saving?
I do. I like to save. I like to see my money, but I understand life has to be lived. So if I spend it, I spend it.
So if
So
I spend it,
I would say I'm naturally more of a saver, but if I spend it, I'm like, listen, what am I gonna do? Yeah.
right. Okay. A morning workout or evening workout?
A morning workout. Straight in the morning before my brain creates all these excuses on why I shouldn't do it. So let me just knock it out. Yeah.
You are absolutely right. Get the day going
Get
too.
the day going.
Okay. Legacy or luxury?
Legacy. Legacy lives forever. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So my last one. If you had a superpower, would it be to read minds or heal every disease?
Mm. Heal every disease.
Mm,
Yeah. Heal every disease. Yeah. Let's
yes.
heal cancer. Let's get it out of here. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
Okay. I lied. I got one more. No, I'm tired of okay. So no, I want you, well, this is you finishing a sentence. I want you to finish this sentence. Success to me means
Mm. Success to me means leaving people better than you found them. Yeah, leaving people better than you found them. That's real success. That's real richness.
that is. I might have to
Yeah.
steal that, girl.
Yeah. Steal it. It's
I
true.
love that response. Yes.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that response. So I want you to tell the audience a little more about, your new business and
Yeah.
those interested, how they can get involved, how they can contact you, connect with you, follow you, and then let them know if there's anything that you got going on in the future that
Yeah. Thank you so much. I guess you can follow me on Instagram for those who are on Instagram at Paige and Dr. Casey TV, as well as Crystal Claire Women's Care. And again, Crystal Claire Women's Care, a recent business venture of mine, online women's platform. Just kind of extending past the exam room. Healthcare is very fast paced. We often don't have time to really get down to the nitty gritty and fully educate our patients. So I have posts and pre-appointment clarity sessions where you can ask those questions. You can prepare for your visits. I even have post-baby appointments so we can discuss how you feel, postpartum depression screening, just getting you prepared for you and baby. So, there's lots of amazing services. I also have mentorship on there as well. I know there's lots of students who have reached out to me. So, yeah, definitely tap into Crystal Claire Women's Care. I'm hoping to continue my medical missions, continuing to just hop on podcasts that align. I'm very big on fulfillment. Just to continue to be the change I want to see and, advance and educate women to just be the best versions of themselves.
that's awesome. That's amazing. Now I heard you mention say you do precepting too as well.
Yes.
Okay, so how do they contact you if they want some preceptorship in New York, right?
Yes. Dr. Casey Ann Collins at gmail.com. So DrCaseyAnn Collins at gmail.com. You can hit me up and then I'll reach out to my facility and we can coordinate everything. So yeah, you just got to be a good student, taking the best of the best. So yeah. Yes.
You are absolutely right. So before we wrap up, what is some advice you would like to give the audience?
Listen, if we're talking in the healthcare field, anyone looking to get into the healthcare field, trust your journey. Please do not compare your chapter 5 to someone's chapter 10. Comparison is the thief of joy. Trust God's timing. Stay focused. Eliminate the distractions, the parties, vacations, whatever. They're always going to be there. And if something is meant for you, is always going to be meant for you. So just trust God in that aspect. And just remember, you could be the next person. You can invent something big. A patient is waiting on you to change lives. So just keep going. And if it's not even healthcare, it could be tech. Create the app, be the next innovator. So we need you. So just keep going.
I second that. Yes, that is some amazing advice. Well, first and foremost, I want to thank you so much for coming on White Coats and
Of
Real Talk
course.
podcast. I'm sure the audience found this very knowledgeable, gained a lot of inspiration and insight because I know I did. It's very fulfilling to see our beautiful Black healthcare professional, men and women, coming on here and giving other people the opportunity to see what is possible, and also see that we are real people too. A lot of times people see us with these white coats and they think like we don't experience life, like we don't have challenges, like we wasn't like, sometimes we was undecisive. Sometimes people didn't know what they wanted to do. You see, you was gonna be a cop.
Exactly. A whole cop. A whole cop.
Right. So, I get a lot of feedback and people be like, wow, I never knew they experienced that or they went through that, or, that really touched home what that person said. So I just want to thank you, for coming on and letting people see the real, true, authentic you and giving that great advice. I'm sure it's resonating with someone in the audience. So thank you. Thank you. And for you all, my lovely audience, everybody that's watching, make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel so you get the video version of this beautiful podcast episode. And also, it's streaming on all major platforms, so you can listen there to the audio version. Also, subscribe to the live podcast platform. That is a platform for podcasters of all the beautiful Black people. And it's owned by a beautiful Black woman.
Amen. We love that.
Make sure you tune in and check that out too as well. I'm your host, Dr. Angel White, board certified family and mental health nurse practitioner. And I'm going to keep bringing you all these amazing guests and highlighting their journeys, because there's a lot of Black healthcare professionals out here that's doing amazing things, and their story needs to be heard. Their journey needs to be heard, because I'm sure that it's inspiring someone who's watching this. So until the next episode, be blessed.